So here's one of our groups that we cut at the Sayward Town Forest, part of our forest management project. This is probably one of the larger groups that we cut. It's about a half an acre in size. You can see the piles of wood to be grabbed by the forwarder. This area has been cut, and then Derek brought his processor machine in here and cut all the trees up into logs and piled them for the forwarder to come and grab all these piles of woods. The hope for the future of this group is that it regenerates with a flush of new tree growth. We left a few residual trees. These are just means trees that were left behind. We've got a maple and 2 yellow birches. And behind me here is a black cherry. Just trees we're hoping to help seed in this area. This will be great wildlife habitat here in the future as these young trees begin to occupy this site. First, we'll see some kind of brambles, some raspberries here in the next couple of years. Those will be outcompeted hopefully within 5 to 6 years by young tree growth. And then this will be dog hair thick young tree growth for a long time here. And that kind of different structure, that young tree growth, is fantastic wildlife habitat. Forest birds, deer, bear, all love that type of habitat. So that's what the hope is here. The reason this area was chosen to be cut, this half acre, was it was full of declining white ash. So here's one of the piles of logs to be picked up by the forwarder. Just want to show an example of how some of this ash opened up, and it just means what it looks like on the inside. And we definitely have some rot here and some ant activity. These trees, when trees are like this, they're in decline for some reason or another. So what I think happened to these ash trees is that their ash in general is very soil moisture dependent, meaning it really needs a certain level of water. Too much water it doesn't like, not enough water it doesn't like. And I think what happened, there was not enough water here on this ledgy soil, and that led to some decline. I peeled a couple of these ash trees because they really looked suspiciously like emerald ash borer was affecting these trees. Knowing that this tree was stressed, I was seeing signs of a weak crown. I was seeing some woodpecker extraction of larvae. I was concerned that this tree may have emerald ash borer. We don't know emerald ash borer to be in Randolph as of the summer of 2023. So I wanted to confirm one way or the other that this tree in particular either had emerald ash borer or not. So I took a draw knife and I peeled into the cambium layer of this tree. And that's where bark boring beetles tend to be. So what I noticed is some borer activity here. This is borer activity, but it's from a native bark boring, ash boring insect. It's a straight line. They kind of meander, and that's uncharacteristic of EAB. If it was emerald ash borer, it would start in a line and then serpentine, kind of back and forth, getting bigger and bigger until it emerged. So this is why we cut this area was chosen to be cut like this. One, to capture the value of those declining trees, and most importantly too, is to get some young tree growth established here on Sayward, which we don't have a lot of, particularly in this hardwood stand. It's all about the same age, about 80 to 100 years old, and it's really important for the health and sustainability of our forest to have young trees and old trees. So this is an attempt here to have on this half acre some young trees growing up. We've got 8 groups, all varying in size. Like I said, this is one of the bigger ones. They're all half acre or less. This is one of the 8 that were cut.